can if you're gonna make any, have any noise. But okay, here we go, broadcasting. Morning, friends. We're about to get started. We've got a few more people jumping on. While we do, just want to say hello to some of you, my friends. It's good to see you. Hey, Kathy from Wheaton. Hey, Amanda from Vancouver. Good to see you. Amy, good to see you, Amy. And Carmen and Christina, good to have you today. Florence and Gretchen, Gwen, great to see you. Thanks, Krista James, you're on the call. Yeah, I'm wearing this hat, Krista. Krista made a comment. She says, great hat, Benjamin. It's because I can't get a haircut anywhere. That's why I'm wearing a hat, Krista. Hey, Marianne from Montana. Great to see you. Wendy, Maureen, and Logan, wonderful to have you all. Hey, well, we're going to go ahead and get started. Welcome to the Power of Giving. I know you might think, okay, what is Koelsch Communities putting on a presentation about the power of giving? Right? We talk about dementia, we talk about active aging, we talk about thriving as you age and all the resources for that. Well, aging encompasses a whole lot of life. Caring for people encompasses a whole lot of life, not just the medical stuff, right? We often get into like, we got to learn about the medical, learn about the medical, learn about the medical. Aging encompasses so much, right? And as an organization that runs communities, right? We're not running like little mini hospitals, we're running communities within larger communities. Giving is a really big deal, and how we give and why we give and how we encourage each of us, whether we be residents, whether we be care partners, whether we be team members, how to give. So my name is Benjamin. Most of you know me on the call, but those of you who don't, I'm a social gerontologist. I'm director of people and culture for Koelsch Communities. You're welcome to reach out to me by cell, by email, by LinkedIn or Twitter. I'm happy to connect with you. Want to thank the Koelsch Communities for sponsoring this presentation today. This is Alice and Emmet Koelsch, and they sold everything they had in 1958 and bought an abandoned nursing home in Kelso, Washington, moved their children in the basement and began raising their kids in this nursing home and taking care of elders. This was in the boom time of nursing homes across America. Well, about 1978, they said, there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better way than nursing homes for helping seniors live a full life, right? Because in nursing homes in the 1970s, everybody shared a room, you had almost no space, you had almost no freedom. And so they said, there's got to be a better way. So they created one of America's, if not America's, very first assisted living in 1978 in Kelso, Washington, Delaware Plaza. Longview, Washington, Delaware Plaza. An assisted living, new concept for America. This is the Koelsch family. Emmet and Alice had 5 children. One of them is Aaron Koelsch, and he owns Koelsch Communities with his lovely family. They are across the United States now in 8 different states, 32 plus communities, memory care, assisted living, independent living. They feature reminiscing tools, reminiscing features in all of their memory care communities and even their independent living communities. And their independent living communities feature just wildly exciting features, such as lovely Victory Bistro. It's just a wonderful place that I love to come and hang out. And for those of you who are in our Vancouver area, you might have heard, you might not have heard, but what you see on the screen will soon be in the Salmon Creek area, a lovely campus, independent living, assisted living, and about 20 cottages. So talk to Amy Osborne if you are interested in learning more. Today we're giving away the first of its kind Caregivers care package designed by a licensed family therapist. She created a care package to help you take care of yourself if you are a care partner or if you are a family member caring for someone who is aging. She also includes in this care package a journal that is well designed to help you think about balance in your life so that you are not just completely overrun taking care of someone else, but you're able to also take care of yourself and create that balance in your life. So we are giving that away this month. If you would like to enter that drawing, just go to this website at the end of our event, livingwellevents.org/insights. For most of you, will pop up automatically. For those of you who don't, livingwellevents.org/insights. I'll put it up at the end of the presentation. Today we have Maria Cura-Castro, a very good friend of mine. She used to be a competitor, even though I don't like the word competitor, but we worked for very different companies at the end of the two ends of the county, and we got to be really good friends. And I'm so glad that she's been on our team at Koelsch. She is a change agent as well as a design management expert, and she is currently regional director of sales for Koelsch. She has a lot of experience in rethinking how we do business in lots of different industries, but specifically senior living and healthcare. How do we do business in a way that is constantly giving back? How do we do business in not the traditional way of maybe just trying to go get customers, go get clients, but how do we do business in a way that we build our community through doing business? So Maria, if you'll go ahead and start your camera, I'd love for everybody to see you and put your slides. Hey Maria, good to have you here today.
Hey, everybody. Well, thank you so much, Benjamin, for the introduction. Before we start, I would like to express how grateful I am to share about this topic, one that's very near and dear to my heart, an area which is a foundation stone. Oops, my screen got weird, hold on. Is a foundation stone as to how I believe we can relate to others within our personal and professional communities. It warms my heart to have individuals like you participating in a conversation that has the ability to change our world and make a great impact in the lives of others. So thank you for joining. In this presentation, I will share with you ways giving has transformed communities, sharing examples on how companies are stepping to the plate, understand why we give, and lastly, what you can do to get started. So a little bit about me. This is a photo of my family. I'm a mom of 3 kids. I have a soon-to-be teenager, Davin. His birthday's on Thursday. He'll be 13, of course, and Kieran's 11, and Maya is 2 years old. And giving back to the community has been a big part in our family and our culture on how we decide to raise our kids. So just kind of point those out and show off my family. What mom doesn't want to do that? I wanted to share a quote that's meaningful to me. The meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give it away. The power of giving is a topic that has been spoken of throughout many societies and cultures. And human nature to give is living and breathing in all of us. I would like to ask each of you to ask yourself, how do you choose to give to others? And how does it make you feel when you give? By answering these 2 questions, I hope you're able to recognize the great contribution you've bestowed upon your families, your friends, your town, and even the world. And I hope that you feel wonderful when you think about the impact that you make every day. So my Koelsch experience in giving has been a really beautiful one. I'm fortunate to work for an organization which has established philanthropy as a cornerstone to what we do and how we do it. As Benjamin shared earlier, Koelsch Communities was founded in 1958 by Emmet and Alice Koelsch, who shared a deep desire and commitment to help others. They understood that from the beginning, that everything they had was an outcome not only of hard work, but also kindness and support of others. When the opportunity arose to give back, they did. Very involved with their church and the city in which they live, they first started small. Now what has begun as a culture of a team in only a few senior living communities in Kelso Longview, Washington, they've grown to 32 communities plus 7 under construction nationwide. As a member of this organization, I feel blessed to know that I'm welcomed and encouraged to be out in the community, helping others in need. What I see is a legacy that has been passed down by Emmet and Alice over many years and will continue on to come. Next, I would like to engage each participant to open up your chat box, if you could please, and share 1 or more examples of people, groups, or organizations you may have happened to give your time and resources. This sharing will act as a source of inspiration as we continue this discussion. Maybe you support a place of worship, maybe it's your children's school, or maybe it's a local nonprofit. So please, if you could do that, please list a few places that you help out at, and I will do the same. Very cool. We have Meals on Wheels, Alzheimer's Association, Hope Dementia Support, Loving Them Forward, American Cancer Society, Senior Services Board Member, oh my word, Lutheran Community Services Northwest, Providence Heights, Quest Church, Habitat for Humanity, A Caring Closet, the list is going on and on. So thank you. Thank you for all you do. And for those of you that are engaged in helping the community, I want this conversation to really hold tight what you're already doing, and that you being active is inspiring others to do the same. So it starts with us, right? So there's this thing called the golden rule that many of us are familiar with. Do unto others as you would like them to do unto you. It has been told that giving is the key to success, fulfillment, and a life of prosperity. The world needs more people who go into the world and give what they can to aid the betterment of society. There's a great need for people to stand up and start adding value to the lives of others by being of service. Maybe you are also familiar with the term, you shall get what you give, and the good you put out into the world will return to you in abundance. The power of giving is in action, and I wanted to share with you a few examples of that. Corporate philanthropy is something that has been growing at a magnitude. I've been tracking it for maybe the last 10 years. One way that companies are helping those in need is by matching gifts, for example. So matching gifts are when employees of a company donate money to a nonprofit organization, and their company decides to match their donation with money from their funds. An example of that would be Apple. Everybody may know Apple. Their philanthropy program, part of it exists like this, is last year, Apple's total employee charitable giving program exceeded 125 million, and their employees volunteered more than 250,000 hours. The company matches employee donations to most nonprofits at a 1-to-1 ratio with a maximum of $10,000, just $10,000, while their volunteer grant program has no minimum hour requirement and donates $25 per hour that employee volunteers. How cool is that? Another example of corporate giving is volunteer grants. Volunteer grants are when employees of companies donate time and their company matches their time with money. As far as volunteering is concerned, I wanted to share some examples. For Koelsch communities, we rally our employees to volunteer time to help support fundraising efforts for a multitude of nonprofit organizations and fundraising events. Our executive directors of each of our communities are encouraged to join philanthropy groups like Rotary International, which is an organization known for giving back to others. I would like to take a moment and share a story of how a very small group of like-minded individuals with very limited resources can move mountains by merely donating their time and inspiring others to do the same. A Caring Closet is a nonprofit in my hometown of Vancouver, Washington. Founded by Sarah Sheets and Jody Zelazny, they shared a similar concern and vision. As healthcare professionals working directly with families, they became increasingly aware of the lack of proper durable medical equipment for individuals. This need for durable medical equipment was impacting people because it honestly promoted a lack of independence and even caused traumatic injury because they didn't have the equipment. What started as two ladies borrowing the work minivan to transfer unused DME equipment during their free time turned into a volunteer organization now serving 300 people per month, and to date has helped give access to $250,000 in free durable medical equipment. So that just goes to show that just spending a little bit of time and using what resources you already have can turn into something, cause a ripple effect, and turn into something really great for people in need. So why do we give? I believe we give because there's a human story. I have found through the years of choosing to give, each effort is generally attached with a beautiful human story. This story has the ability to connect human beings who would never have a reason to be connected otherwise with each other in what I call a magical way. This connection exists when we choose to give. Giving is kindness and giving is love. So another reason for giving is we like to have fun and enjoy our work. I have a slide here of a few pictures of me having fun, my family's there, and some coworkers that are near and dear to my heart. This is one of the benefits of working for Koelsch Communities, one of the big benefits for me. And so we're at the Walk to End Alzheimer's. So example of how giving unifies people is that strangers become friends. And each year I've served as a volunteer and committee member for this walk. This is an event that raises dollars, which promotes education, support groups, and a cure for Alzheimer's disease. Each year, I have the honor of being surrounded by hundreds of individuals who have been impacted by memory loss. And each year, I'm able to encounter a new friend who cares about the cause as I do. And in turn, we never feel alone. With that said, this segues me to another important message about giving, is that I believe that giving is healing. So what are we up against? There are areas of need that are prevalent within society. There are issues related to hunger, depressed economics, lack of resources, and social isolation, just to name a few, and there's more. So another question I would like you to ask yourself is, consider what do we think others might tell themselves when they're in need? Maybe it sounds like, I don't want anyone to worry about me. This will pass. I've got this, right? That's me. This will pass. I'll be okay. Or maybe it's not something we say to ourselves, but maybe it's something we feel. Maybe it's something like shame, because we want to be able to do things on their own. So if we do nothing, what could happen? Well, what could happen is we will struggle, we will lack resources, our issues at hand will not be resolved as quickly, and we'll risk feeling alone. How do we make our community well? In 2012, Michelle Obama said, "Success isn't about how much money you make, it's about the difference you make in people's lives." As humans, we yearn to make a difference, to leave a mark. And most of us know by helping others, helping better others' lives has positive impacts on our own, making us happier, more balanced, and instilling a great sense of purpose in the everyday. But it can be easy to get bogged down in the daily grind and miss the benefits to ourselves and our communities that getting involved can provide. And most of us don't know where to start. So how do we start? What can we do? Well, my advice to you would be, determine your possibility. What is the mark that you want to make in the world? Who are you for people? And who do you want to help? Sometimes deciding who you want to help, you can link that with what is your passion. So when you're involved, if you're passionate about the cause, the more personal, the better. Others will be inspired by that, just by you being you. How to get started? A way to get started is reach out to local groups and organizations. Share that possibility and passion. Lastly, do what you can when you can. All of us have limitations and all of us have opportunities. And you will find that organizations that are already in place, they are hungry for your heart and your time and your effort in any way you wish to give it. So don't ever feel like you don't have enough time, or maybe you're not, you don't specialize in a certain thing that you think they want. I guarantee you, as somebody who's made it a second career to be a volunteer, they will take whatever you're willing to give, especially if you're bringing your heart into it. I believe without a doubt that the power of giving can change the world. And we've seen that. We've seen that with personal interactions in more intimate relationships with our families and friends and our intimate personal communities. But as shared, we've seen that in organizations. And so wherever you're at right now, if you're an individual that just has a personal connection to something, you've experienced a breakdown or something really difficult, and you had the opportunity to rise above it, you have something to share. If you're an individual that works for a company, how can you enroll your teammates, your CEO of your company, and share with them your passion and in what area you want to give back to others? Because I have a feeling that the people that support you and love you will love anything you care about, including giving back. And our nonprofits and organizations that already have things in place, they need that from you. So with that being said, I hope that this presentation has inspired you. And for those of you who are interested to receive a little consultation, maybe from me, because I'm very eager to work with folks who are interested to take business and philanthropy and combine them together. I'm happy to schedule a Zoom call when all this craziness is over. I would love to meet you for coffee. So you can reach out to me. My email is my name. So it's Maria@Cura-Castro.com. And that's it for me. I was hoping that maybe, Benjamin, we can open up the space and see if we have individuals that have any questions that maybe don't know how to get started or have gotten started, but maybe they've been stumped for one reason or another. And they want to know, how do I make this bigger? How do I expand my efforts? So can we open up room for that?
Absolutely. You can either raise your hand if you'd like your voice to come over the screen, or you can just enter a question in the chat box. And like Maria said, maybe you're someone who is right in the middle of tough times caring for somebody, and you think, how can I want to give, but how do I do that while I'm taking care of someone? Or maybe you're a professional and you're trying to think through, how do I bring giving and my profession together? What are your questions? Go ahead and raise your hand or put them in the chat or Q&A.
Yeah. And I would even add, maybe not even questions, but I can see right now in this chat box, we have engaged folks. We have folks that are active. And so as folks that are active, we are always thirsty, wouldn't you say, for more resources and more ideas on how to expand this bandwidth of giving. So if you have anything that you want to share or anything that you're actively participating in as a volunteer, committee member, board member, please share your message so that we can all in this group be inspired by what you're doing.
You get a little chat box down at the bottom of your screen or the top, depending on what device you're on. And you'll have a little something that says Q&A. And then you have another little thing, that little picture of a hand. If you raise your hand, I click it, we won't see you, we'll just hear your voice. And we'll be able to hear your story or hear what you'd like to share today.
I'm really interested in Amanda here. She volunteers with college sororities, and being in healthcare, I'm more involved with healthcare related things. And I think that's pretty neat, college sororities. So Amanda, if you're still on, I would love it if you can kind of share what you do there. No pressure. Sorry, girlfriend. You're on mute. I see her.
There she is. Are you there, Amanda?
Technical difficulties. That's all right. All right, we'll hang tight for you when you're able to log on. We'd love to hear about that. We see Christina. Oh, it's Christina answering for Amanda. Look at that. Amanda's daughters and my daughter were both in the same sorority, and they support Alzheimer's for their philanthropic activities. Go Cougs. For Amanda, go Huskies for my daughter. Oh, very good. Very good. That's really neat. Let's see here. And then Benjamin, you help with Hope Dementia Support Group, don't you? Are you on the board?
I am on the board, yeah, with some amazingly talented people. It's humbling to get to be with people who are leading the charge on trying to develop support groups all across our city.
Yeah, very good. Oh, there's a question here. A very good one. How can we respectfully ask for donations when times are so tough? That's a really good question right now. And I have a shared idea. It's not my idea, but it was presented to me. Is when times are tough, we know that when we're caring for others, it's about the people we're caring for, right? And so carving the conversation to highlight the human, what's going on with you, what's going on with life, starting there, I think is always a good move. And even, I think people want to give, but with the economy being like it is right now, especially the climate, everything that we're dealing with viruses and having to stay at home and folks not working, I think it is, my approach has been just to check in on people because people want to give. And if right now isn't the best time to give, there's no doubt in my mind they will give when they can. And so staying in touch with individuals and just picking up the phone and saying, you know what, I'm just calling to see how you're doing. How's the new normal going for you? What can I do for you? Because we can give in ways that don't include money right now. And then we have to, I trust that the donation side, when it comes to funding dollars, that will come into play when the time is right. And they'll remember and appreciate that you still stayed connected with them, even when funds might not be readily available. I hope that helps answer the question, Amanda, a little bit.
I know I've seen, even though it's times are tough right now, there's a lot of people who want to give. And maybe that's what you're saying, but I think right now it is a time to even perhaps ask people that we haven't asked before for things, because there's so many people who are hungering for a way to give. But when you're shut up at home and maybe you're not a super Facebook savvy kind of person who can find where everything's happening in the world, you can feel so isolated and like, I want to help, but I don't know, besides just giving lots of money, how do I help? So I've definitely seen that love of giving right now.
Yeah. Giving is a attitude and a culture. And so even when there's not dollars, there's so many examples in my community that I live, but all across the world, of how people give what they can. And so as long as we keep that message beating and alive, everything else I do truly believe will fall into place.
That's good. We have a YouTube comment from Al Dulte I think in Chicago, and she's talking about how in Illinois, in Villa Park, that they're working really hard to serve the homeless together, and that she's finding a lot of joy in that work. So thank you, Adulte, for your work there.
Yeah, very good, very good. Oh, here's another comment, and a very good thing to remember is giving of time is not just money. Volunteering also is you're asking for food, other essentials for people and to give. So that's a really good point. When we don't have money, we're in an environment right now that folks need essential items. And so how wonderful has it been during this time, folks that are volunteering their talents to make face masks and doing all those things and just knowing, you know, this is what I have. I have folks in my community that where I live, where we have folks that are 65 and over, and we're going on our neighborhood Facebook group and we're saying, hey, I'm going to the grocery store today. You stay home. If I'm going to be tribute to my family to go to the grocery store, who needs something? And I might as well just leave it at your doorstep. Little things like that. It doesn't take much, right? We just have to stop and take a moment and think about people and ask the question so that they know that you're willing to do it. Because as I mentioned earlier, there's something about us as human beings. We want to do it ourselves. We think we're supposed to, we think we should. And then we miss out on this warm, beautiful feeling of helping others and then receiving that kindness, right? So yeah, thank you for sharing that it doesn't have to be money.
Now, Maria, you have a lot of healthcare and senior living marketing professionals on this call. One of the things that I've found really creative about your career is the way that you find to bring the cause of giving as well as the cause of marketing together. Yeah. Can you share maybe a couple kind of quick case studies on how you did that?
Oh.
I can think, while you're thinking, I can think of you ran a grand opening for a large senior living community. And in that grand opening, you paired it with somehow, as people visited or as they came, based on the actions they took in the grand opening, one of the nonprofits received some sort of gift.
Sure.
I don't remember exactly how that went, but it was very creative.
Yeah, it was very good. Yeah, I believe that in any business, most business plans, we want to get exposure, right? We want people to come visit our front door. And in that time, there's an opportunity to take another organization that's making a big difference for people and sharing that space. So while the places that I work, if I'm planning on having 50 guests or 250 guests, there's always an opportunity to provide resources. Maybe part of his personality. I know that this is a business and my business is sales and marketing, but I believe that it shows how we partner and those we partner with. It shares our heart. And I believe in truth in marketing. I believe in heart in marketing. And so that's why supporting community efforts, number one, it just feels good. I mean, why not do something that just feels good? And when we're rising, we want others to rise with us, right? So that's number one. And then the other part is for the target market, for the people, for the guests that you are hosting, for them to see in action how you behave outside of your four walls for others. That's huge. I don't know, but we're all consumers, right? And we're choosing what product we're going to buy, what service provider we're going to work with. We want that product and service provider to match our ethos, what we believe as an individual, what's personal to us. And so that's part of, for me, marketing is something that needs to be there, because if you really want to build that relationship and connection, you need to start getting personal and diving deep at all of the feels, even the joy and even sometimes the struggle. And just somehow, because nonprofit and community efforts really hit that area hard, it makes sense. It makes sense in any marketing strategy to incorporate that. I hope that answered the question.
It does.
And I really believe it, man.
Another strategy I've seen you use is, it's one thing to plan a large event where there's a programmatic element of giving, but it's another thing to create very personal, authentic, one-on-one, small group experiences. And I've noticed you will partner with a nonprofit and then host a dinner in your own home sometimes, in which people, pay a donation to come to the dinner. But then you have 12, 15 people where you can build that authentic relationship while at the same time making a difference in the community. Is that another strategy you use frequently?
Yes, it is another strategy I use. I mean, for those that are on this call that happen to know me personally or from my hometown, y'all know I like to cook. and I love community, and just for the heck of it, even if it was a box of mac and cheese, which would never happen, but I'll cook anything just to enjoy your company. And so my strategy personally and often professionally is I look at, what am I already doing? What do I already do? And how do I just expand that? And so on the meals, on the intimate dinners, it was basically, I would already invite 12 friends over for this feast. And so why don't I create an opportunity to share about an organization or a cause that's happening right now that I feel is meaningful, and I believe would be meaningful for them too. So I mean, I'm also looking at that when I have I'm doing these things all the time. I'm choosing my guests, and it goes back to, listening and knowing people. We know a lot of people, and if we're listening to their heart and what's going on for them and what's important to them. So when I have these dinners, I invite the people that the particular cause that I've learned about. I invite certain guests that I already see that there's a bridge, and now we just need to complete that bridge. And at that point, now we're traveling back and forth, and we're doing amazing things. So yeah, it's great. It's great to see. If anything, when you titled me on the as a change agent, I felt really cool because I'm a big Marvel fan. Not a lot of people know that, but I'm going crazy watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. right now because I'm too much screen time. But that's really what it is. I feel like we all have different roles in our community. And for me, it's connecting everybody, that like-minded folks, and moving mountains in that way. So I wonder for all of you, you might have, your talent might be craft work. Your talent might be just like here, Amanda and Christine were sharing, they're very involved in their daughters' lives, and they're in a sorority. And it appears to me, as moms, they love their daughters. And that was the bridge. There was an opportunity to have a mother-daughter relationship and then do good together in the world. So maybe it looks like that. There's so many, it's limitless. There's so many ways, but if you dig deep and just know who are you, what do you do right now? The point is do what you can when you can, right? And if we just get a little bit creative, we know that we can be that voice for others who are maybe doing more of the groundwork, that are working at the nonprofits, that are volunteering their time. And we're just an extra microphone for them. It's fun.
That's very wise, though, because it is easy to get overwhelmed and feel like I can't add one more thing to my plate. But what you're saying is go ahead and find what you're already doing and just simply maximize it to make a difference.
Yeah. I have another example of a girlfriend. She's a part of a running group. And so she runs for her own personal health. She enjoys it. She loves doing it. But look at this community that she's associated with. And so she used the already established friendships that she had to introduce a cause that was important to her. And it didn't stop with one cause. It ended up turning to another and to another. But this giving is infectious. So we have people that we're connected with on a very personal level right now. And I would challenge, okay, how are you going to take that connection you've already established with somebody, and how do you expand it to strangers? Right? And then, no pun intended, yes, very much intended, like a virus, it's exponential. Like, let's do this really cool, beautiful version of this exponential growth on giving and giving of ourselves.
Love it. Two quick notes from folks. Sarah over in Longview, Washington, she writes, I work at Americana as an activity director, and I volunteer with Relay for Life because I've lost loved ones and I'm a survivor myself. You are all an inspiration to us. I just want to thank you for what you do, trying to find ways to help us to be better at what we do. Encouragement goes a long way. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you.
And Christina from Vancouver, Washington writes, integrity is so important. A good name is more desirable than great riches, Proverbs 22. Thank you for being transparent and sharing your heart with us, Maria.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Maria.
Thank
Any
you.
last words for our guests?
I guess I would just share that, this presentation is meant to be feel good. It's meant to be a reminder to each and every one of us that we're already doing wonderful things. And the world is our oyster. It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop today or the thing that we did a week ago. It keeps moving and it keeps growing. And I just want to encourage you that it's not unnoticed. And I really look forward to hopefully some of this presentation has given you even more inspiration to give back to others. And you have my contact information. I'm a junkie for this giving stuff. So if you want to reach out to me just to rubber ducky and come up with ideas, you're doing me a favor. Okay. And if I am blessed enough to live close by to you, to even be side by side with you in something that means a lot, I would love to do that. So please leave that in this talk. So
thank you so much, Maria. I appreciate that. Thank you for your time today. I want to just remind everyone that if you do go to this website, we will be sure to send you Maria's slides from today, as well as her contact information, and you'll be entered into the drawing. So thank you. If you happen to be available tomorrow, we do have guests from Portugal around, I think it's 10 or 11 tomorrow, who will be speaking on how Europe and Japan are dealing with very challenging behavioral issues with dementia, as well as frailty issues, and how they're using 150 techniques developed over the past 40 years called Humanitude to make some pretty amazing differences in the lives of people with dementia or people who are very frail. That's tomorrow. And then Thursday, if you're interested in art and being creative with purpose, we have a specialist in art who will be talking about 3 particular creative things you can do at home. So do join us, and we'll talk to you soon.